But tonight, MrBeast's companies are facing a legal challenge of their own, just as Jimmy Donaldson himself took the stage at the Time 100 Summit as one of the world's most influential people. Former employee Lorraine Mavromatis filing a federal lawsuit in North Carolina, claiming she faced discrimination, retaliation, was required to work while on maternity leave, and was terminated within a few weeks of returning to the job, told she was too high caliber for the position.
There was a time when MrBeast felt utterly unassailable. The most subscribed YouTuber on Earth, he'd forged an empire on an unprecedented wave of generosity, showering strangers with cash, feeding communities, orchestrating life-changing experiences for millions. He made generosity go viral, and the world embraced Jimmy Donaldson with a devotion that, for years, seemed truly unshakable. But here in April 2026, a seismic shift is underway. This isn't just one misstep. It's a disturbing, widening pattern. A torrent of lawsuits, leaked internal documents, and startling allegations from inside his own company. Together, they paint a troubling portrait of an empire that may have expanded too fast, too carelessly, and with dangerously misguided leadership at its core.
I was yelled at, cursed at.
Lorraine Mavromatis claims she was subject to sexual harassment and gender bias.
I was obligated to attend one-on-one meetings at the CEO's house by myself in an upstairs room only lit by a side lamp.
Her lawsuit claims male employees would tell women to shut up in meetings and mock female participants in MrBeast videos.
Days ago, a seismic shift. A federal lawsuit filed April 22nd, 2026 by Lorraine Mavromatis, a former executive at Beast Industries. Lorraine arrived in 2022, tapped to lead Instagram, and her ascent was meteoric. Within her first year, she earned 2 promotions, blossoming into what she accurately described as a true rising star. The proof was undeniable. In mere months, she transitioned from managing a single vertical to overseeing the vast operations of multiple divisions. Her respect for Jimmy was profound, her belief in Beast Industries' mission unwavering. She meticulously cultivated a public image of unwavering loyalty, even abandoning her own social media presence entirely, so no one could ever accuse her of leveraging his name for personal gain. This was not the conduct of someone with hidden agendas, but a woman utterly dedicated. Yet, the foundations began to crack. According to the lawsuit, she was systematically excluded from meetings, often the only woman in an otherwise entirely male room. She endured public humiliation before her colleagues. She was sexually harassed.
In the complaint, she alleges that she rose quickly inside the company after starting in 2022, but after raising concerns about sexual harassment, was demoted and transferred into what the lawsuit calls a division where, quote, careers go to die.
In November 2023, she formally lodged her complaint. On paper, it went exactly where it should, straight to the head of human resources. But then, the devastating truth emerged. The head of HR at Beast Industries was Sue Perisher, Jimmy Donaldson's own mother. A sexual harassment claim against one of the world's most influential media empires landed directly on the desk of the accused's parent. The lawsuit claims that immediately after this complaint, she was demoted. Soon after, she discovered she was pregnant. What followed is one of the most profoundly unsettling details within the entire filing. Mavromatis alleges Beast Industries failed to inform her of her rights under the Family and Medical Leave Act, a federal law guaranteeing employees up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave for critical family reasons, including childbirth. She states the company had no functional parental leave policy to speak of. And so, terrified of the repercussions if she truly disconnected, she felt utterly compelled to stay on.
The lawsuit also alleges Mavromatis was contacted to work while on maternity leave, and that the company never gave her required notice of her rights under the Family and Medical Leave Act.
Jimmy Donaldson himself, he says that you've got to get the job done, and there's no excuses.
Her suit claims she feared retaliation if she refused to work during her leave and was on a work conference call while in the labor and delivery room and traveled to Brazil for a shoot with soccer star Neymar a few weeks after giving birth.
But if Neymar wins, I will donate it to whatever charity he chooses.
No mother would want to leave their newborn baby behind to go to work, especially out of the country when you're breastfeeding your baby. That's the last thing that I wanted to do.
In active labor, at the hospital, she was on a work conference call. Her own words reveal the raw truth. She had to hold her breath between contractions, desperate to conceal her agony from those on the line. Just 3 weeks after returning from leave, she was fired. The company's chilling justification? She was too high caliber for her role. Beast Industries immediately pushed back, their spokesperson branding the lawsuit a clout-chasing complaint built on deliberate misrepresentations. They released internal Slack messages and a signed copy of the employee handbook.
This clout-chasing complaint is built on deliberate misrepresentations and categorically false statements, and we have the receipts to prove it. There is extensive evidence, including Slack and WhatsApp messages, company documents, and witness testimony that unequivocally refutes her claims. We will not submit to opportunistic lawyers looking to manufacture a payday from us.
Stamped with Mavromatis' own signature, it served as irrefutable evidence. She had known her FMLA rights all along.
Documents obtained by NBC News show Mavromatis' signature on an employee handbook dated 4 days before giving birth, which laid out the company's maternity leave policies, something Mavromatis says she doesn't remember.
So you never signed any sort of FMLA documents 4 days before you gave birth?
No, I do not recall signing, and I was never informed of my rights.
NBC News also reviewed a message in which Mavromatis appears to express a willingness to go to Brazil.
Two utterly opposite versions of events now collide, and a jury will ultimately decide which one holds sway. But there is one truth no one dares dispute, one unsettling revelation etched into the company's own internal culture document. It declares, the amount of hours you work is irrelevant. And then, even more chillingly, the document explicitly states, no does not mean no. This shocking directive, an official Beast Industries policy from 2025, was circulated openly among its employees. A company, in that very year, valued at a staggering $5 billion.
It is absolutely unacceptable, which rolls us right into page 19. No does not mean no. For the people out there who are saying, he's not edgy anymore, he's learned, this document is pretty new and references some of his newer videos. He has not learned. This is who he is. So the title No Does Not Mean No is a very obvious reference to essay. Instead of communicating in a professional manner, saying be persistent when you're producing or working, no does not mean no is the company culture of MrBeast.
Yet, this was far from the beginning of the storm. The Mavromatis lawsuit might be the newest tremor, but the ground beneath Jimmy's empire was already unstable, long before her claims emerged. Back in September 2024, 5 former contestants from Beast Games. Jimmy's colossal Amazon Prime reality show, a project he heralded as his magnum opus, united to file a class action lawsuit against his production companies and Amazon.
And popular YouTuber MrBeast and Amazon are facing a lawsuit over a new reality competition. 5 contestants say the show wasn't what they thought it was going to be and that they were misled from the start.
Since then, more voices have joined the growing legal challenge. The Beast Games, hailed as the biggest prize competition in television history. 1,000 contestants. A staggering $5 million cash prize. An unprecedented $100 million budget. Its creator, Jimmy, heralded it as the culmination of his life's work. When it debuted on Amazon Prime in December 2024, it didn't just break records, it shattered them, claiming multiple Guinness World Records. On paper, it was an undeniable, colossal success. But behind that dazzling facade, according to the very people who lived it, it was a cruel deception. The lawsuit paints a chilling picture. Alleging contestants endured sexual harassment on set, suffered grave physical injuries during challenges, and were denied even basic medical care in the aftermath.
Several contestants said that they had not received their medication on time, including one contestant who needed insulin, instead receiving it hours or even days after their scheduled dosing times. This is so dangerous to a diabetic. This is awful.
The brutal truth: multiple contestants were stretchered from the arena.
The class action lawsuit claiming the Amazon Prime show exploited the labor of the contestants, alleging sexual harassment and a hostile work environment. The show, a partnership between MrBeast, Jimmy Donaldson, and Amazon Prime Video, marketed Beast Games as the biggest reality competition series ever, with 1,000 contestants competing for a $5 million cash prize, the biggest single prize in the history of television and streaming. But now 5 of those contestants claiming the show didn't provide fair wages or even bare minimum legal working conditions. Many are still awaiting their promised reimbursement.
Participants suffered profound deprivation, denied adequate food, crucial sleep, and vital meal breaks. For women, the cruelty escalated. Basic feminine hygiene products were callously withheld for days on end.
Several contestants said that when they had sought out production staff members for assistance with medical care, food, and hygiene issues, the staff members were often not helpful and appeared disorganized. Some staff members yelled and cursed at contestants.
And when they dared to complain, male executives back at Beast Industries offices simply laughed it off. This chilling detail, stemming from the new Mavramatis lawsuit, means both those who worked on the show and those who participated are now describing the same festering cultural rot from two starkly different angles. The production lawsuit also reveals one of the most astonishing allegations in this whole unfolding saga, that the show's producers pressured contestants to sign fraudulent paperwork. A blatant attempt to help Beast Industries illegally claim Nevada state tax credits. This isn't just a culture problem. This is a potential criminal enterprise. When the story first started breaking, even before the show aired, Jimmy responded on X. He promised tons of behind-the-scenes footage would prove how blown out of proportion these claims were, but explained he couldn't release it yet because it would spoil the show. He repeated a version of this on Good Morning America in February 2025, telling the host simply that he had to let his lawyers handle it. Yet, he insisted he'd personally spoken to 700 or 800 contestants, and every single one, he claimed, had a great time.
MrBeast's production company and Amazon hit with a proposed class action lawsuit filed in the fall by 6 anonymous contestants who claim sexual harassment, that they were misled, and that the show exploited them.
They say they were in unreasonable, unsafe, and unlawful employment conditions. How do you respond to that?
I got to let the lawyers handle that. I can't comment on it, but I can say I've personally talked to 700-800 contestants. They all want to come back. They all had a great time, and you can watch their content online, and I think it speaks for itself.
Amazon has decisively doubled down, renewing the show for 2 more seasons. Financially, Beast Industries continues its explosive growth, having raised $200 million at a staggering $5 billion valuation in January 2026. By every business metric, the empire is undeniably still expanding. Yet, when we zoom out, when we examine the broader picture of the last several years, a disturbing pattern becomes impossible to ignore. In 2023, Jimmy sued MrBeast Burger over quality concerns. Their retaliation was swift and severe, a countersuit exceeding $100 million, alleging he employed ruthless bullying tactics to pressure them into surrendering company ownership.
They countersued MrBeast and Beast Ventures for breach of contract. Quote, "This case is about a social media celebrity who believes his fame means that his word does not matter, that the facts do not matter, and that he can renege and breach his contractual obligations without consequence." And Virtual Dining Concepts contends that when they contracted with Donaldson, the parties agreed that MrBeast would, quote, "become the face of a virtual restaurant brand in exchange for a share of the revenue and later a stake in the business." VDC says that Donaldson was the one who pushed the rapid expansion of Beast Burger. Quote, "While plaintiffs originally planned to open MrBeast Burger in a smaller select number of locations, defendants pushed plaintiffs to open MrBeast Burger in as many locations as possible."
In 2025, a video of him exploring Chichen Itza's ancient ruins ignited a sweeping investigation by Mexican authorities. He stood accused of waiting for darkness, scaling forbidden structures, infiltrating hallowed temples, and brazenly promoting feastables within the sacred archaeological site. The Mexican president herself then demanded an urgent review into his team's permits.
Mexican authorities suing a company they say helped YouTube megastar MrBeast produce this now viral video.
Why is this not in a museum? Why is a YouTuber holding this? Get this away from me.
Titled, "I Explored 2,000-Year-Old Ancient Temples." The video has racked up over 60 million views in less than a week.
This is the door to the inside of this massive Mayan temple.
Authorities say the video taken inside the nation's ancient pyramids violated the terms of government permissions.
We're gonna visit this bad boy.
In the video, MrBeast, whose real name is James Donaldson, explores ancient Mayan cities in southeastern Mexico.
Can I take one home?
Well, I do. We'll go to jail.
I would go to jail?
Yeah, sure.
At one point, the influencer, who has 395 million subscribers on YouTube, surprised at the level of access.
I can't believe the government's letting us do this.
Now, in 2026, the Beast Games class action lawsuit still burns fiercely, and a brand new crisis has just erupted, the Mavramatis lawsuit launched against him in federal court. Though each situation stands distinct, they all converge on one chilling, undeniable truth: a company that operates as if it is above the law. This, truly, is the fundamental flaw at its heart.
But I wasn't as confident in my ability to be successful. And, you know, when you're probably 20 and you're hiring all these people, I have high risk tolerance, but I'm reinvesting every dollar I make. I'm hiring my friends from school. I hired my mom. Like, these people I really care about are depending on me. And then, I upload a video and it does bad. And then people, I pour all my time and effort into it, but, maybe it doesn't come across as well. Like the video, and, some people might have interpreted it as lazy. And you read a comment being like, wow, what a fucking lazy. Like, I thought you made great videos. Or
Jimmy Donaldson, at just 27 years old, willed a $5 billion media empire into existence. Largely by instinct, he funneled every dollar back into productions grander than the last. His inner circle formed its foundation, a cousin as CEO, his mother heading HR, close friends in key roles since the very beginning. This intimate model, perfect for a YouTuber grinding out videos from a bedroom, was never designed for an empire. Now, with 700 employees, a Prime Video show, a national food brand, vast investor capital, and the unyielding grip of federal labor laws, that system is cracking. The profound tragedy lies in this. MrBeast built his brand on one specific, powerful pillar: generosity. His entire persona, a beacon of giving. Yet, a former employee now recounts being in active labor on a Beast Industries work call, terrified to disconnect. Contestants on a colossal $100 million production allege they were denied basic food and medication. The promise of the brand and its alleged reality are not merely different, they are devastating opposites. And this stark contrast will not fade into silence.
This morning, a former employee is suing his production company.
I was yelled at, cursed at.
Lorraine Mavromatis claims she was subject to sexual harassment and gender bias.
I was obligated to attend one-on-one meetings at the CEO's house by myself in an upstairs room only lit by a side lamp.
Her lawsuit claims male employees would tell women to shut up in meetings and mock female participants in MrBeast videos. She says after returning from maternity leave, she was fired.
And the reason was, and I quote, "You are too high of a caliber for this position."
Even with a staggering $200 million in fresh investment, Amazon still backs his ventures, and 500 million loyal subscribers remain steadfast. The Mavromatis lawsuit may settle quietly. The Beast Games case will likely become a long, drawn-out saga, a common dance at this altitude of power. But the ledger of reputation, that's a different beast entirely. For over a decade, MrBeast meticulously forged one of the most pristine public images the internet has ever seen. The magnanimous giver, the world improver, the beacon of generosity. Yet, with every lawsuit filed, every document leaked, every former employee stepping into the light, that meticulously crafted image is chipped away. These are wounds that no legal victory can fully mend. For you can win in a court of law, yet suffer a devastating defeat in the unforgiving court of public opinion. Now, the spotlight isn't on the grand spectacles or the jaw-dropping giveaways. It's fixed squarely on the inner workings of the empire Jimmy Donaldson meticulously constructed, the actual company. This is where we stand today. The story is far from over. In fact, more revelations are likely on the horizon. To truly grasp the unfolding drama, the verdicts, the filings, the profound fallout, subscribe to Influence Circuit. This is precisely the narrative we are here to dissect, and join the conversation below. Is this a systemic rot within the very foundations of Beast Industries? Or merely the growing pains of an empire that expanded too rapidly, too chaotically? I'm eager to hear your perspectives. Until next time.